2, 3. Wait, sorry. 3, 4.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all the blessings. God gives me everything I need. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
You're gonna hurt yourself doing that. That was good. So, welcome everyone. Nice to see all these friendly faces out there. I think we're all locals, so new friend here. So, how are you? Good morning. Welcome. How are you? So, excuse me. My name is Reverend Michael McMorrow. I'm the spiritual director here at our Center for Spiritual Living in Granada Hills, where we welcome all who practice their beliefs in faith and love here in the sanctuary and up online. Everybody wave hi. There's a little camera up there by the PowerPoint thing. So welcome to them. And so we have a little thing we like to do here called hugs and handshakes. So let's just take a moment to meet and greet each other.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Like a fool, I went and stayed too long. Now I'm wondering if your love's still strong. Ooh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Then that time I went and said goodbye. Now I'm back and not ashamed to cry. Ooh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Here I am, baby, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Oh, here I am, baby, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Like a fool, I went and stayed too long. Now I'm wondering if your love's still strong. Ooh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Then that time I went and said goodbye. Now I'm back and not ashamed to cry. Ooh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Yeah, here I am, baby, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Oh, here I am, baby, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours.
All right, thank you for coming. We'll see you next week. Yeah. That was good. How does does this little place have such great music you're asking? Yeah, Ken Francis is our music director. All right, so welcome one and all. Please help me welcome our presider this morning. I almost said Reverend. Wayne McDonald, longtime member, longtime pal. Former volunteer of the year together. Class of 2001. Yeah. All right, so as we bring the lights down. So Nikki's holding down like 5 jobs in the backyard this morning. All right, Marilyn said. So let's all take a deep, conscious breath, allowing ourselves to just surrender to this eternal now moment as we come together for our call to service, which we call lighting the flames of faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this morning. So as Wayne lights the first candle, it's to honor the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. The fourth candle we light for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. The fifth candle we light for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. The sixth candle we light for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. The ninth candle we light for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. The 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here at our center. And as Wayne lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experience the healing flame of God's eternal love.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and I see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
Join me in this opening treatment, and I invite you to close your eyes if you wish. And as we go swimming down that river of love, just know that we are one with this love, light, peace, and joy. And no matter whatever is in the news, whether it's real or fake news, we just know right here, right now, that God is love, peace, and joy. And I know that in that place of oneness, that whatever the outer appearances are, I affirm and know that the truth is, it is love, peace, and joy, that there is good in this world, and I see it demonstrated each and every day. And in this day, I know that this service unfolds easily and effortlessly, and I give thanks for this gathering. I give thanks for this center, and I give thanks for each and every person here, and I give thanks that we have the freedom to do what we want, anytime we want, in a place that's always in the highest and best. And knowing this is so, I release and let go, knowing it is complete and done, and together we say, and so it is. Good morning. I'm Wayne McDonald. I'm one of the presiders here. It's one of the nice things about being here on Sunday is that we can gather and be one with a very positive community. And the big question really is, where do we hang around and where are we Monday through Friday? And what do we surround ourselves with? And who do we chit-chat with at work or other places? I know where I am, there's a lot of people that, well, first of all, I'm downtown LA, 46th to 54th floor, 10 floors. All the worker bees are on 46, and yes, they like to complain. And it's very easy to join in and just join in the misery and complain about the long hours or something. But I'll tell you quite honestly, I get bored listening to myself complain. Yeah, that's right, I get bored listening to myself complain. This past week was a rather long week, and on Thursday I put in a 10-hour day. And then I knew as I got home at 9 o'clock, I said, oh good, we've got 2 large events tomorrow, inventory, and still have to check the floors for coffee and cashier work, and I don't know what else we're going to do. But I knew it was going to be a long day, and it's like, what's the point of complaining? We're going to have to get the work done, and that was my approach for the day. Now, you may have heard at the center the phrase, holding space or holding the light. Well, this describes how we approach a challenge. And by holding the space or holding that light for someone, you are taking all the teaching of what Science of Mind is and all your experiences, and you hold that light, you hold that truth, which is the God truth with a capital T, and you just hold that space and know the highest and best for them. Well, as an example, I said on Friday, knowing it was going to be a busy day, it's just myself that is there to hold that light. And sometimes, although it's great to hold that light and space for friends and family, or if somebody's dealing with a health challenge, you can also hold that light and space for yourself, because sometimes that is all we can do. From the Science of Mind text, it says, all the good I can embody is now mine. I have only to open the portals of my soul and accept that which is ready to express through me. And it continues, I can never be exhausted. My good can never be depleted, because the source from which my good comes is inexhaustible. So this week, as you're out and about and doing things, and people say, how are you? Listen to yourself. Really listen to yourself, because practicing the teaching of Science of Mind is listening and being conscious. And just be positive. And if you have any complaints, just keep it brief and just say, that's how it's going, and let's move on, and just know that with God, all things are possible. And to you, I say love, peace, and joy. And so it is.
Good morning, everybody. How you doing?
Morning.
It's nice to see you. Please welcome Kent Moore, David Olivas, and Jason Goldstein on the keyboards today. All right. Okay, and this song is guaranteed to wake you up. Nothing like starting a day with Mr. James Brown. Yeah. So please welcome our special guest singer today, Miss Terry Page. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
Ow! I feel good. I knew that I would not. I feel good. I knew that I would not. So good, so good. I got you. Ow! I feel nice, like sugar and spice. I feel nice, like sugar and spice. So nice, so nice. I got you. When I hold you in my arms, I know that I can do no wrong. When I hold you in my arms, love won't do me no harm. And I feel nice, like sugar and spice. I feel nice, like sugar and spice. Oh, so nice, so nice. I got you. When I hold you, no. Yeah, when I hold you in my arms, I know that I can do no harm. And when I hold you in my arms, your love won't do me no harm. And I feel nice, like sugar and spice. I feel nice, like sugar and spice. So nice, so nice. I got you. Ooh, I feel good. I knew that I would not. I feel good. I knew that I would. So good, so good. I got you. So good, so good. I got you. Hey. So good, so good. I got you.
Good morning, everybody. Does anybody know what this is? Good. What is it?
Box.
It's a box. Do you know that you can submit an idea for a local charity that can benefit from our monthly donations by filling out one of these sheets and submitting it into the box? And once a month, we draw from the box and make a donation to the charity of your choosing. Thank you. Sometimes the words just aren't there, you know. So we're going to draw something from the box this morning. Sometimes we forget to do that. So I have here in my hot little hand a submission from the president of our board, Barbara Harrison, and it's for the Shadowland Foundation. And could you tell us just what that is?
It is a wolf sanctuary.
Wolf Sanctuary. So the church is going to be making a donation to the Wolf Sanctuary on behalf of Barbara Harrison. So please utilize this box. Sometimes we don't have many to choose from, but this month we chose the Shadowland Foundation on behalf of Barbara Harrison. So please utilize this, okay? That's what this box is. Pardon me? It's the giving basket.
Where is it?
It's usually on the front desk out there.
It's on the table right as you come in.
Yeah.
And the forms are there as well.
Yes, that's right. So I'm going to highlight a few announcements. I don't have a cheat sheet, I don't think. Do I? Do I have a cheat sheet? Yeah, I'll just use the, you all have a flyer in your agenda here. Agenda, what is this called, Stephanie? Program. No, it's too much coffee. That's the problem. I don't even have a cheat sheet in here. So, okay, so let's look. Okay, we also have tickets for Tahoe. Did anybody not buy their ticket for Tahoe yet? Because we have tickets. And the drawing is going to take place on Sunday, March 19th. You can win a whole week at a lodge in Tahoe that will handle 4 people. And you're even going to get a $100 gift card to help you with the gas to get up there. So please, I have tickets. Barbara probably has tickets. Reverend Mike has tickets. So check one of us out. The tickets are $10 each or 3 for $25. So there's that. Then we also have, starting on Wednesday, March 8th, the morning Sangha Wednesday mornings with Reverend Jeannie. I just can't wait till I get to do that. I work, so I can't do it. But starting Wednesday, it's going to be Mystical Women. So come check that out. Thank you, Nikki. Next is that March 8th at 7 o'clock, we have our featured singer, Laura Berman, and she's going to participate in the Taze service that Reverend Jeannie facilitates, and I hear the singer is fantastic. So come check that out. Jeannie is also doing, on March 18th, Reverend Jeannie is doing a fundraiser, doing a dance class. So that should be a lot of fun. Come on out. I hear people say bring your 2 left feet, so we can help you with that. And then Saturday, March 18th at 7 o'clock, Anton Miserak is going to be here. You've probably heard him during massage and stuff like that. If you haven't been here for his concert, it's a lot of fun, and it's not really fun. It's kind of more sacred than fun, but it's a wonderful evening. It's sacred fun. There you go. And then we have something today, bereavement support group today at 1 o'clock here in the sanctuary. So if there is something that you're working through, please join us in that sacred space so that we can support your healing needs. And you know what? There's a bunch of stuff going on here, so just check it out. We're glad you're here. If you're new, welcome. If you're old, you're welcome too. Thank you.
And with that, would you please stand and as we read our declarations of principles? And together, we believe in one universal spirit, manifesting through all, natural and incarnated in us. We believe that the universal spirit is personal to and reveals itself through everyone who recognizes its presence. We believe that our faith operates upon the law of mind, which automatically manifests in our experience according to that faith. We believe in the unity of all life and in the immortality of the individual soul forever expanding. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the givingness of life to all.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I'll see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I'm free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Big finish now.
Yes, I'm only here for
Just think of those guys buying chlorine next door. They're going to get religion whether they want it or not. That was a rousing rendition. Thank you. Let's thank the band. That was a nice job. And thank you, Terry. I have to confess, I think I swapped her sheets on her when I moved the thing. So sorry about that. Anyways, so good morning, beloveds. It's nice to see the face of God reflected out there in all of you this morning. And as you've heard, there is a lot going on around here. So please, check your calendars, set some time aside. Laura Berman's going to be really excellent. So if you don't typically come on Wednesday night, please join us for that. That's March 8th. And it is a Taizé service, so that's spoken word, song, and meditation. It takes about an hour-ish. And it's a great lift in the middle of the week. So her songs are soulful and uplifting. And do yourself a favor, come check her out. They're also doing a concert out at Simi Valley on Friday. Lara, Gary Lynn Floyd, and Jamie Lula are doing a concert out at the Simi Valley Center. So that's next Friday, $20 admission. Get your tickets online. But first, buy a Lake Tahoe ticket to support our drawing here. All right, so busy times. After lying fallow through the remodel of the kitchen and the floor. So Marilyn, you got to make sure you got to check out our new kitchen. So that's finally done. Thank you. And so we're back into the full swing of things. And I'm teaching a ministerial class for Holmes Institute, which is a big honor for our center, actually. Right. So and I feel honored to be serving in that way. And that's where our materials come from. I've been studying and preparing and learning more about and need to learn more about a subject that we covered, which is nonviolent communication. Now, I know you don't really think I need that. And why are you laughing about that? And actually, I think that's kind of a misnomer, nonviolent communication in one way. But it's certainly conscious communication. Conscious communication. Now, and being communication then, is that all about just learning how to talk better? No, thank you. Right? So it's talking and listening, right? So empathic listening and conscious speech. And so it's right in alignment with what we do here today. And I wanted to speak to that. And thank you, Wayne, for queuing it up so nicely with your own creative thought this morning. And I wanted to present it in this way. So the first quote I'd like to give you today is from Ernest Holmes. And when he says, this is from his book, Can We Talk to God? So can we talk to God? Yes, okay, good religious scientist. Okay, so we all know that we can talk at God. So many of us are used to talking, particularly from mainline religions, that we talk at God, right? But it is a different proposition altogether to consider whether we can talk to God. This is the words of Ernest Holmes. I am considering the topic from the standpoint of communication. So unless we are conscious that we are talking to God, and God is conscious that he is being talked to, he, she, it, is being talked to, we certainly cannot communicate with God. So there's a reciprocity going on. There can be no real communication without a reciprocity of ideas. So if you, when Holmes presented this stuff, so remember, this is way before Oprah, right? This is way before Joel Osteen. This is back when most people who were church-going folk were mainline churches. And the idea of reciprocity was tied to some interesting concepts. And these concepts are tied to the way, and I think in subtle ways that maybe we're not aware of, they're tied to the ways that, not only the way that we speak to each other, but also the way that we think. The way that we think about ourselves, the way we think about the other, and the way that we think about our relationship with the divine. So Ernest Holmes is the first one that I heard of who talked about, well, that's not really true. Jesus said, knock and I shall enter. All right? Well, there's an obstacle there, right? That obstacle being represented by what? The door, right? So who has to open the door? We do. So it is always upon us to do the work within our own consciousness to do what? To open, right? And this is really the heart of this idea of nonviolent communication, that the goal is not to dominate or submit to. That's not the goal. The goal is to communicate, right? Or in the words of St. Francis, to seek first to understand. Now, this can be a very dissatisfying thing if you're not going to get your way at the end. Or maybe that's just me. So, nonviolent communication is a tool for connecting on a deep, heartfelt level to understand the other, and not a tool for manipulation or coercion. Darn it. So there can be no real communication without a reciprocity of ideas. So we all are saying that we can talk to God, yes? But how to do that, I think is, that's the big question. So in the old days, we started out, so how do we talk to God? We actually picked someone out in the tribe and said, okay, that's a holy man, that's a holy woman. They were given the task of communicating with the divine, and the rest of us got to do whatever we wanted, right? And then that evolved into the holy priesthood. And now ministers have access to the divine, right? And so, but there was this unwritten thing that we're putting the responsibility for all of that stuff on that person, on the emissary, if you will. Any Deep Space Nine fans out there? The emissary, right? So in this way, Moses was the emissary when he did what? He went up the mountain, right? So we go up in consciousness. And then what did he bring down? He brought down the law. All those shouts and shout nots. Right? And what is the inference in that then is domination. I am, even though it's kind of a weird deal, because actually in Genesis, he gives us dominion over everything, right? And then he presents this code of living that says, you have dominion over everything, but if you don't play right, buddy, wham! Right in the kisser, all the way to the moon. For eternity. Well, maybe he didn't speak quite like that. So here's the dilemma. And can you see, if you think on this for a moment. So we went to dinner with some friends last night, and they asked me, so what were you teaching? And I said, nonviolent communication. And they said, well, I don't speak that way. And I think most people think, I don't speak that way, because most of us think about violence as giving them the old 1-2 when they won't shape up, right? We give them the strap, because we don't want to spoil the child, because the rod is the way. And it's a popular, and so really what we're doing, this idea of, I feel weird about calling it violent communication, but let's just say it's confrontive communication, right? That there's an element of punishment within it. So this code that we've been handed down has punishment either expressed or implied within it. And we practice this at the most basic levels of human life, right? So, which is easier? To explain to your 2-year-old what's going on here and to go through all of that languaging? Well, not a 2-year-old. Let's say a 7-year-old, right? The age of reason, right? So which is easier? To go through all of that languaging and trying to be respectful and protect their little feelings and all this other stuff, or to give them a whack on the butt and say, because I said so, that's why. And then we grow up and we get into companies, because I said so, that's why. And we get into playing games like football, because I ordered you to, that's why. And so we get into this dynamic where we're confrontive with each other. And so we really have not, unless we have been interested enough to look for such things, we've not really been taught the skills necessary to communicate with each other in ways that are respectful and not domineering. Now, and I would say through thousands of years, by the way. Thousands of years. So if you're judging yourself a little harshly on this, lighten up. Or enlighten up, if you like. Right? So, because what I want to speak to is that most of us have no problem talking. Right? And this is the main component about nonviolent communication is not staying out of this and the judgment, and you're not hearing me, and people get into shouting over each other. Now, has there been anything going on in the outer world where maybe we've seen this being demonstrated very clearly lately? Right? Where people are just talking over each other. In fact, the gloves of civility in many ways have been taken off. People really are not even practicing good manners anymore. In very public ways. And in institutions, we don't really think about our government institutions as sacred expressions, but they really kind of are. Right? We are expecting these people to act as the highest and best among us. Right? If we put as much vetting into our elected officials as we do our astronaut program, we would be the most effective planet planet in the universe. The most effective country and really be an example. Imagine being in a spacecraft, right? Where you can't get away, man. It's a vacuum of space on the other side of this thin metal wall. You think they're practicing nonviolent communication? Yeah. And international. Right? It's an international space station. So I don't think they're talking much about Russian hacking on the International Space Station in these clash of the titans kind of languaging. Well, we do the same things in our own relationships. I know I did it as an employer. Right? And I had my own insight. This is before science of mine. That, and I worked in an industry that was male-dominated. right? And so in that way, construction kind of gives you permission to be kind of a jerk, right? And you huff and puff until I blow your house down, right? And if you get into a mix-up, then you just throw off the bags and come on, let's go work it out, right? Or because my name's on the check, buddy, if you don't like it, hit the bricks. Now, do you think that was an effective way to run a company? No. And so I came to see that just because I was employing people didn't mean that I could dominate them and be disrespectful. So I figured that one out on my own. That's pretty good, yeah? So what if the next time we get locked into a disagreement with someone, we see that we consciously bring to mind and know that they are an emanation of the divine. That we see the person that we're locked in disagreement with, we see the face of God there. That we see with the eye of the heart that unmet need. Now, the Republican side of my nature, or the conservative side, rather, of my nature goes, oh, God, liberal, drippy. Now, what is that about? Because in some way, we have attached the word need to needy. Right? Having needs is not being needy. We all have needs. We all have basic, universal needs. And when our communications meet from that place, then we really can see the face of God in the other. And even disagree. But we agree to disagree. Now imagine if our communications were held to that kind of standard. I don't even want to say standard, because even that implies to that kind of commitment. To that kind of commitment. This is what the win-win idea looks like, by the way. Right? But I got to tell you, I was in studying for this stuff and looking over Marshall Rosenberg, who developed this program. There are a definite skill set needed that I'm kind of lacking in. And so there are nonviolent communication practice groups. Right? Practice groups. Just like when you want to learn how to be a licensed practitioner of religious science, you go to practitioner training. And what are you really doing? Well, first of all, you're mucking out all the stuff that no longer serves us. Right? And I have to tell you, when you are committed to spiritual practice, so have you ever decided, I'm going to step up my spiritual practice, and all of a sudden all kinds of crises come up, right? It's like all of a sudden we're demonstrating all the stuff that we set out to heal, right? So I remember as a very impatient young man that I decided in a conscious way to become a carpenter, because I wanted to learn patience. That was the most aggravating profession ever until I had like 20 years in. 20 years. So, nonviolent. So the other thing is that we need to go into this knowing that the universe holds nothing against us, right? And that is for us. And that we are working with, and the universe is working with us by working through us and working for us in this way. That everything in this manifest life is a demonstration of consciousness, right? Consciousness below the thought. Consciousness below the thought, and the thought below the speech. Consciousness below the thought to the speech to the right action. It all starts in consciousness. And this is why this idea of nonviolent communication then becomes a wonderful way to learn how to communicate with the divine in a weird kind of way. Can you make the connection there? And if you like looking for things biblical to support that, you'll find them in there. So this is Ernest Holmes. The universe holds nothing against us, does not matter how many mistakes we have made, we are still perfect beings within, and the within may become the without. So within, so without. If we will carefully train ourselves to listen to the inner voice of truth, which speaks to us in our moments of playlist, iPads, and TV, or quietness and solitude. Right? So just a quick check within your own life. How much time is there? I have the Washington Post app on my iPhone, or on my, what do you call them? Yeah, it is an iPhone now. I'm no longer a Droid user. Big mistake, man. I mean, it's all in there. Yeah. So, nonviolent communication. So let's just quickly brush over this because I really can't give it the attention it deserves because I yak too much in the front end. But the basic idea, let's start here with empathic listening because I think most of us are good about this one. Empathic listening. And so what does that mean? So we have the skill set, observation. So we're working with the observer mind. So what in your spiritual practice are you doing right now that helps cultivate this idea of observer mind? Right? Your meditation practice, yeah? So you're already working on cultivating this. So we become aware of the ego, right? So our communications have a sense of the high watch in them, right? Because we're doing better because we know better. Now, mind you, there might be all kinds of crazy going on out here. And probably will be. Right? Until we get more skilled. And I can tell you from my own, sometimes I can make it worse. Thinking that, my heart's in the right place. I still say the wrong thing once in a while. What do you mean, huh? The wife chimes in, huh? All right, so skill, recognizing needs, connecting with the universal human needs, values in us that are being met or not met in relation to what is happening. And so our needs then are more than the things we can't live without. They represent our values, wants, desires, and preferences for a happy and or more meaningful experience. Right? For the other as well. Right? So, so whether we see the Christ in all beings, or we have taken a kind of a bodhisattva vow to hold the light for others, to step into their own awakening, whether we are simply practicing the golden rule, right? We're doing it at a much deeper level because we're being conscious of what we are saying and conscious even more so of what we are hearing. So when there's all kinds of crazy going on out here, what is the unmet need that's driving the behavior? Right? How can I listen with the heart and seek first to understand? That's really what this is about. So I have to tell you, I saw this a few years ago, and the dude uses like puppets and stuff, and he did it through an IONS presentation, and I just kind of went, oh my God, what is this sissy stuff? But now that I have been more evolved, but now I guess my consciousness is now cultivated, and I really get it, right? I mean, what I see in the outer world is a gigantic call for prayer, a gigantic call for all of us to know in consciousness, that there's another way to go, and that what we are witnessing is the last big hurrah of that which no longer serves us as a species. Right? Which means that we both have to listen with an empathetic heart. There are conservative values that are worth listening to. Many of us practice them in our own lives. You don't spend more than you take in. That's the big one. And love your neighbor as yourself. Right? To care for the widows and the orphans and those less fortunate than ourselves. But you know what? It's a much bigger job than the churches can handle. Right? Church attendance is falling. 100 new churches, 400 close a year. That's what's going on right now. Yeah. Average church size, 100. Here we're right in the zone. We're needed now more than ever. Your prayers count. Your meditation counts. You doing the work in consciousness to know a world that works for everyone counts. Your commitment to diversity and inclusivity counts. You showing up and getting your seat in the seat in a regular basis, 2 or 3 times a month counts. Showing up and standing up for what you believe in outside of this place counts. But we do it in a place of recognizing the divine, seeking first to understand. Right? So the last thing on this making requests, and then I have to stop. So this is how the test for a request rather than a demand. Are you okay with no for an answer? Almost never, if I'm honest. Right? So if I get no for an answer, then it's a negotiation. Right? No. All right, that's enough out of me. Let's call the musicians forward, and we're going to take a deep breath. We're just going to surrender into this moment for a second and ask ourselves, so how can we continue in this energy and in this contemplation of how to communicate better by having a commitment to sacred listening? That's what empathetic listening is, really. To listen with the ear of the heart, as the Sufi poet Rumi said in the 1500s. Not a new idea. Well, one simple way to love God with our whole heart, with our whole mind, with our whole soul, so fully and completely that we see that God emanation, that demonstration of the divine in the other, by loving our neighbor as ourself. So how can I do that today? How can I soften my judgments, my perceptions? Maybe even just develop more of an awareness that they're there and have a commitment to releasing those and to seek for connection rather than confrontation, to seek to communicate rather than to dominate, to be okay with no, to be okay with no. So think on these things today and take this energy into your work week and come on back next week and check in and we'll see how we do.
In beauty, may I walk all day long. May I walk through the seasons. May I walk in peace. May May I walk in peace on this path. May I walk through my life. May I walk in old age. May I walk. May I walk in peace. May I walk in peace. May I walk. 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 Oh, may I walk. May I walk. May I walk. May I walk. May I walk in peace. May I walk. May I walk in peace, in joy. May I walk in love. May I walk in gratitude. May I walk. May I walk. May I walk in peace. In peace. May I walk. May I walk in peace. In peace. In stillness. May I walk. May I walk in forgiveness. May I walk. May I walk in loving kindness. May I walk. May I walk. May I walk. May I walk in peace. In peace. May I walk. May I walk in peace. In peace. May I walk. May I walk. Oh, may I walk. May I walk. May I walk. May I walk. Oh, may I walk. May I walk. Oh, may I walk. May I walk. Oh, may I walk in peace. May I walk in peace. In peace. May I walk. Oh, may I walk in peace. In peace. In peace. May I walk. Oh, may I walk in peace. In peace. May I walk. Oh, may I walk in peace. Oh.
All right, that was nice, huh? Kind of rhythmic, a heartbeat thing. Nice. All right, so as we prepare our gifts for the offering,
3, 4.
call the ushers forward. Chloe, so make sure you take your time, all right?
Spirit gives through me. Spirit receives through me. Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit gives through me. Spirit receives through me. Spirit lives and breathes through me.
never realized how tall you are. I feel like I need to come down here. All right, so just recognizing and knowing that the gifts presented here this morning are a demonstration of consciousness that knows and knows that it knows that God is our source, our substance, our supply. And so from the generous heart from which these gifts have been offered here this morning, we, representing the heart of this community, accept these gifts with deep appreciation, love, and respect, as we know together they go forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless. The vision and mission of this spiritual center, and everyone here this morning, anyone connected to our center in any way, that we extend this blessing to our friends in Granada Hills and Calabasas, our state of California, our United States of America, all of its churches, temples, mosques, schools, universities, the people who attend them, the people who support them, for our planet as well, that we know that all of it is an expression of the consciousness, the one mind of spirit itself. And to the extent that we really know this to be so, we see it demonstrating in all ways, great and small. This lifts our hearts, and we allow ourselves to feel the shift that allows us to lift others into ways of spiritual living that serve ourselves and the world as well. And in this way, we are truly grateful and acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. So please help me thank lovely Rita and sweet Chloe. Hello there. How are you today? Such a somber group. We had more fun than you did today. I can see that already. Who is our spokesperson? Yeah? Turn that way. There we go. So what'd you do back there? Well, first tell them who you are.
I'm Maddie.
Maddie. Hi, Maddie. And how long have you been coming to the center, Maddie? Since week 1.
Since I was a baby.
Yeah, in a car seat. In a car seat. Anyway, so what did you do back there today?
We talked about meditation and sacred listening, using meditation.
No kidding.
We did our tin can phones with the paper here.
Oh, do you want to demonstrate, Isaiah? Yeah, stand on up. No? Yeah? Maybe so.
Maybe do it with Rosa's phone. It's better in shape than yours.
Oh, yeah, I remember these. So come on up here, Rosa. Isaiah, can I move this here? That's heavier than it looks, but good thing I work out regularly. Twice a month, whether I need it or not. All right, so how does this work?
The string has to be straight.
Straight, uh-huh. Well, you have to, it has to be taut also, yeah?
Pull it tight so it
Okay, so try it now. Whoops.
not too tight.
There you go. You got it, man.
Hello.
I can sort of hear it. Here, let's try it again. Rosa. See if we get on the mic.
Hello.
Yeah. Nice. Very nice. Okay, thank you. Nice demonstration there. All right, so thank you all for bringing your kids in today. I would also like to thank anyone who's been of service in any way to present our 2 services here today. So Nikki holding down, now single duty. Reverend Jessica's back there. Anybody bring something for hospitality today? Raise your hand. If you're on part of the cleanup squad, that's great. We have people who do programs. We have our ministers and practitioners who are serving in numerous ways. So thank you all who are in service to our center in one way or another. Our Board of Trustees meeting is today. And if you, it is open to anyone who's curious about that side of the things. Like if you want to see how the sausage is made, you're welcome to come and see. It's not that bad. It's not bloody anyway. So, but you're welcome to come and see. Our finances are. We believe in transparency. That's in that way. So you're welcome to join us. So let's give the band a hand one more time. our Grenadian singers, and Miss Terry Page. Yes, thank you. And all of you for being here. So let's invite our ministers and practitioners, visiting practitioners, to circle the room. If you have a need for prayer support today, our practitioners are available for a 1-minute miracle. And if you have an issue that's pressing, you can schedule an appointment with them today. All right, pray us out, Wayne.
Join me in this closing treatment as we know right here, right now, that God is that love, light, peace, and joy, and I know that I am one with that source. And I know that in this week that I consciously listened to others today, and I just exchanged that love, joy, and peace, and I see God reflected back to me. And I know that everything that is my heart, I see it demonstrated in and through all areas of my life. And with a grateful heart, I give thanks for this gathering, I give thanks for this center, and I give thanks for friends and family and the community that supports me. Knowing this is so, I release and let go, knowing it's complete and done, and together we say, and so it is.
Please stand for the peace song. One, two, three, four, five, six. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, united harmony. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. So when it says sax break on your thing, you let the sax, let the sax play its thing. Okay, then you come in. I feel good. I feel good. Oh, wait. Everything is like two of everything. Oh, there we go. There we go. And then Terry, you're ow on one. Okay, I'm gonna count you in right now. On B1. Wow. Boom. I feel good. All right.
I don't get no 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I'm giving you 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, got
Here
it.
we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wow! I feel good. I knew that I would not. I feel good. I knew that I would not. So good, so good. I got a you. Ow! I feel nice, like sugar and spice. I feel nice, like sugar and spice. So nice, so nice. I got a you. Yeah. When I hold you in my arms, I know that I can do no wrong. And when I hold you in my arms, my love won't do you no harm. And I feel nice, like sugar and spice. feel nice, like sugar and spice. So nice, so nice, I got you. Hey. When I hold you in my arms, I know that